Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. Mother Lakshmi, who is resident here at the Sri Narayan Dham, in her form as Jaya and Vijaya Lakshmi, welcomes all of you here today. And this form of Lakshmi is your victory over battle, both in the field and personal battles within your life. This is a day we celebrate the victories of Mother Lakshmi. Now, the female energy represented by Mother Lakshmi has been known to man for a very, very long time. Nikheel, if you want to tell somebody your car goes beautifully, you have a beautiful car and she goes beautifully, how would you describe your car? No? Will you say it goes beautifully, he goes beautifully, or she goes beautifully? Nikheel bhai, because maybe you don't use the word she properly, you're always in trouble. Can you see the power of she, Nikheel bhai? Alright, you have to use that word because it has a lot of power. Same in a ship, same in a rocket, same in a spacecraft. Whenever power is described as she. And she personified is Mother Lakshmi. The source of all power is Adi Lakshmi, and there is no difference between Lord Sriman Narayan and Lakshmi. As I said, they are one supreme reality. The Lord is one reality and His power is an equal reality called Lakshmi. And whenever you see Mother Lakshmi, she resides on the chest of the Lord. Lakshmi resides on the chest of the Supreme Lord, and she is found at His feet, holding His feet. Now notice that. Ultimately, this depiction represents the power of the Supreme Lord. So, I equated this power with the super strength that is found in females, both in the human form, animal form, all forms of female, there is found a strength that cannot be described or cannot be equated with man. And I'm talking about inner strength. I'm talking about inner strength, this inner power that is latent in females is found in the various forms of Mother Lakshmi. Broken down, I just want to give you her forms, which I omitted, all the forms which I omitted at the beginning. So Mother Lakshmi takes on 8 forms. Her first form is Adi Lakshmi. Her next form is Dhana Lakshmi. Then the third form is Dhanya Lakshmi. The fourth form is Gaja Lakshmi. The fifth form is Santana Lakshmi. The sixth form is Veera Lakshmi. The seventh form is Jaya Vijaya Lakshmi. And the eighth form is Vidya Lakshmi. So this female principle, if you look at our human history, you'll find this principle have been prominent across the globe. You'll find that there have been many victorious females, India especially. There was a courageous female who took on the British Army. This courage, this strength, this power is but one of the manifestations of Mother Lakshmi. I think these dogs are witnessing Mother Lakshmi walking around the Dham. Yesterday, we discussed and I gave you a stark reality of the current situation in our country, and we asked Mother as Veera Lakshmi to give us strength in battle to win this battle that is going on in South Africa for many years now, and it is the battle of oppression. Battle of oppression. I've stated earlier when I started the series of inviting politicians, and I stated that the Supreme Lord is the absolute politician. And if the Supreme Lord is the absolute politician, then to annihilate the demonic principles within politics, whose power will be absolute. Jessica? Mother Lakshmi's power. And in saying this, without preparation for this, because our political coordinator is Jessica Pandey, Ramcharan, formerly of Cope, Satish, and formerly before Cope of the African National Congress, in which she spent many, many years. She grew up as a little girl in the struggle. Yes, Jessica?
Yes, sir.
And now she's an adult and she's still struggling. So the struggle never leaves us, and we can dedicate our life for a particular principle, and sometimes people rape the institution of its principles. And all the principles of the ANC has been raped. The ANC will never be that principled organization. Like a female that is raped will never be the same again. Similarly, by raping the principles of the ANC by its own family, that institution can never be resurrected. Can never be resurrected. It cannot be unraped. It can never be unraped. As intelligent, educated, 21st century humans, we have to understand these realities. I myself took part actively in the struggle years, and I myself was in the line of fire where I could have lost my life for the principles of this institution called the ANC. Today, we have to make changes, realistic changes. But it is unfortunate that there is not enough political education in this country. Due to the lack of politics and political education, it's a handful. A handful. We have 54 million people in South Africa, ruled by 400 parliamentarians. Is that 400 parliamentarians nationally not a handful of the amount of citizens of this country? Is it not a handful? So a handful of elected members, not directly, but through party elections, runs the lives. And look at how ironical it is. Look at the irony. How many attorneys we have in South Africa? How many doctors we have in South Africa? How many professors do we have in South Africa? How many from the academia do we have in this country? You think more than 400? We have people in ministries. That they have no expertise in. We have people in ministries. A school teacher was the Minister of Defense. Recently, a school teacher was the Minister of Defense. Can you believe it? How enormous is the defense portfolio, Jessica? How many thousands generals we have? How many thousands of people that went into the battlefield, that know how to pull the trigger, that understands military intelligence, that understand the temperament of a soldier. Compare that to a school teacher. A school teacher, a general must succumb, a hardened general who underwent training his whole life must take instructions from somebody that was teaching school children. What will be the morale in that sector? Satisfied?
Very low.
You understand? So we need to become realistic in this country. As I said, we have no political education. We take everything for granted. There are 400 parliamentarians that have no specialist education in the portfolios they sit in. No specialist education in the portfolios they sit in. Take, for example, the justice system. Who is interviewing judges? What are the qualifications to interview a judge? What qualifications must you have to interview a judge? Satisfied?
Current acting judges.
Yes. Or coming from the legal profession, senior counsel, advocates, people who are well versed in law. Because the judiciary represents law. But who's interviewing these judges? Satisfied? Politicians who have not even set their foot in university.
Who didn't even pass woodwork.
Who didn't even pass woodwork. You understand? What is the morale of judges in our country? And I'm watching these live interviews and my heart cringes. My heart cringes on how stupid South Africans have become. On how idiotic South Africans have become. They are putting uneducated politicians to interview and place judges in the Constitutional Court. Can you believe it? The Constitutional Court is the temple of South Africa. The Constitutional Court is the temple of this country. Why do you think we have a backlog of cases in your court, Satish Bhai and Jessica? Unqualified administrators. Unqualified administrators. If Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of this country, will have to undergo a heart surgery, will he seek the most qualified heart surgeon in the world, or will he seek a BEE doctor, heart surgeon? Who will Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa seek, or any of these politicians? The most qualified. Then how does BEE work for them? All these politicians, go and do a research that I did in 2001. Go see in which schools their children are educated. Model C. But they'll stand in public trying to obliterate Model C schools. Can you see and understand the stupidity, how 400 or 500 politicians, how they have stupefied their country? There is more than 400 professors in this country, Satish Bhai. There are more than 400 political analysts in this country, Satish Bhai. There are more than 400 political science students that have passed with distinctions in this country every year. Yes or no? The university is churning out educated human beings. Again would be, but compare the education or those that have been educated to those that have arisen in political status through cadre deployment. Satish Bhai? So this is our dilemma, because you and I pay the salary of all the professors. You and I pay the salary of all the universities. You and I pay the salary of all these judges. And you and I pay the salary of all these morons and thugs. Yes or no? Yes. So this is a dilemma that we are facing in this country. We allow in unqualified rogues to walk all over us, and we're sitting and we are doing nothing. You think the looting that you saw and witnessed in July was bad? That looting is only the pimple on the body of the real looting that started in the late 90s. That is the real looting, the subtle looting. This looting is nothing financially. Have you heard the ANC crying for this looting? The ANC did not cry about this looting because this looting only hit business people. Yes? Yes. This looting is a drop in the ocean compared to what the ANC have looted since the late 90s. Who is going to stop this looting? You and I. Because the current ANC government is looting your money and my money. Your money and my money. No government in the world owns money. The government is a via medium to take your money and my money and redistribute it through society. That is all any government in the world is. It's a via medium to take your money and my money and redistribute it in. That is the only job of government. Government has no right to take your money and my money and fill its political coffers so that it can remain in government. The government has no right to take 1 cent that does not belong to the government. We are all the government. We are all the government. But because we all cannot govern a country, because there are so many different sectors in a country, we nominate on our behalf. We give politicians power of attorney to work for us and govern for us. And we can withdraw this power of attorney at any given time. So don't be fooled. Don't sit with despair, thinking nothing can be done. We are 54 million. There's only 400 parliamentarians. Only 400 parliamentarians. 54 million. 22 million of us can vote that 400 whom we want in parliament. You understand? How many million registered voters, Jessica?
Currently they're saying 51% of the population is registered. Not
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica said even the IEC is captured. This country was captured before the ANC got into power. Capture of this country made that transition from the National Party to the ANC party. Capture of this country made that transition. The captured dictated that transition. That is the truth. We can take our country back, Dave. We can take our country back and we can vote you president. Nothing is impossible. So the takeout of today's Jaya, Vijaya, we are already victorious because we planted the seed, it sprouted, it germinated, did it not, in these few weeks? Are we not victorious already? You think the Guru is going to stop, Jessica? Hemita? I don't know what Hemita thinks, honestly. She handles all our media, all our photoshopping. She titles everything for the Guru. I think she must be thinking this Guru needs to go to King George. Where you saw a Guru getting involved so deeply in politics. So I don't really know. Today I was thinking, when I saw the EFF poster on my page, poor Hemita.
I told one of my friends and she's like, do you guys want to get killed? That's what she said.
So, this is the Sri Narayan Dham. We've been approached by the EFF. And it is only fair that we be hospitable to them. A mother has many types of children. And all these are children of Mother Lakshmi. And if we have to bring them home, Amita, then that's the Guru's job, to bring everyone home. And I think if we say we are apolitical, then any political party has a right to come through. It is you, Amita, who have to see who you vote for. You understand? It's like I'm selling donuts. All types of donuts. It depends on your taste and your understanding of a particular type of donut that you want to purchase. Okay? But beyond that, beyond all what we are doing, we are setting a trend in the world. This is a world first. This is a world first, and we are setting a trend. And we are reclaiming God's original political portfolio. Everything must go through God. Everything must go through God. When you get up in the morning, I tell you, surrender everything to God. Then why don't we surrender the politics of our country to God? Why don't we surrender the politics of our country to God? You understand? This dimension which we have started is going to bear fruit in many, 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 many dimensions. This mother that we have started, this spiritual mother, is going to give birth, that's going to be a world changer, starting here in Durban and going around the world. Because we said we want to create a divine society. We didn't say where. We didn't say, Hemita, where. We said Sri Narayan Dham, creating a divine society. And if God is the owner of the universe, then this divine society should be universal. Universal. You understand, Demeter? So you're working for God not only in this small 2,880 square meters, you work in the whole planet Earth at the moment. Demeter? Feel great. Feel great. Everything starts small, and when it spirals into full life, it becomes unstoppable. Unstoppable. This is a recorded discourse, and it's also going live, because one day you're going to look for this discourse, Amita. All right. Are there any questions?
Your discourse today reminded me something that I wanted to out about. Some years back, Guru started a concept and repeated it, and I think it ran throughout court. And it was the concept of people voting directly for the president of the country.
Well, I think Lakota started that, Jessica.
Didn't it come from our president?
Yeah, it came, yes. But we gave him the lead, and he was talking about direct. So if you want a president, and if you want these 400 representatives to be in parliament, then they must be voted by you. All South Africans should vote all parliamentarians. And if you vote them in, you'll be able to vote them out. Because when you vote for a party, you have no legal jurisdiction of its deployees. You understand? So I think the Constitution has recognized that you can directly vote for a president. Okay? I'm not too sure. I'm now a guru / politician / Dana gardener. You can see my beautiful garden. All right. Yes, I think we can only for president. I'm not too sure. I have to go look it up, or somebody can look it up and. Yeah, it was Musi. What's his surname? Maimani. Yeah, who. Yeah, and I think somebody from America interviewed him, CNN, and he said he will be standing for president in 2023. He will be standing for president directly. Right? Any other? Fasan. You smell the food, Nadira. Any other questions? Dave? You okay with everything? Okay, tomorrow we are hosting the EFF. I would like to see all of you here to welcome the EFF. Alright? Everyone should be here, and on Friday we are hosting the UIM, and Friday is our main day. Both these political parties did not come through our planning. Both landed here through the grace of Mother Lakshmi. Alright? So come and enjoy. Jai Shriman Narayan.